Hello, I'm Kara Demirjian-Huss, and many of you may know me with DCC Marketing and Demirco Properties and my involvement that I've had with the Midwest Inland Port for years, since the beginnings with Scott Frederickson and Mark Schweitzer and Craig Coyle and the EDC team. And that's translated now through the Economic Development Corporation, working hand in hand with Larry, the Midwest Inland Port Group, ADM, and Tim Stone with the Economic Development Corporation and as the chairperson, and working very diligently over the last several months to a little over a year in making an impact on this. And it is actually a true honor and a pleasure to acknowledge that vision that surrounds the people here today that have had this and bring this to us here in Decatur. As I'm up here today actually on behalf of TCCI, our family manufacturing company. Dennis Flaherty sits in the audience with me as our general manager, and this is a true impact story that is translated. We're here talking about business development and and quite honestly, there's nothing that better describes a way to drive business development than to tell a company that you're going to significantly drop their costs and improve their bottom line. And that's what happened with us. We are currently have moved our transit and logistics over to the CN ADM Logistics with the Midwest Inland Port, and it is saving our company $400,000 annually. So a significant impact. I sit here and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is like, I'm kind of shaking at that because that's a lot of money. And that is a huge impact for us as a corporation. The fact that we'll be able to take those dollars and reinvest it back into our business, our people, and the growth is huge. And I hope today, by sharing my story with you, that others around our area, and as we continue to drive business development here, will truly see the impact that the Midwest Inland Port has had. And so again, I can't say thank you enough to ADM, the Midwest Inland Port Coalition and strategic partners, and to the Economic Development Corporation for the partnership with each other in order to make this happen, because you don't just make something like this happen overnight. This picture that I have up here resembles what was happening in our organization and what now has translated to. Again, this has been a significant impact, and the partnership that CN and ADM have developed was the integral part of making this happen. Those two entities coming together to help our company reduce that significant amount of costs, it wouldn't have happened without that. We have TCCI as the manufacturing company. We have several corporations or entities in addition, but what I'm going to talk today about is TCCI. We have a manufacturing operation, one of our global manufacturing operations in Ningbo, China, and we transport goods from Ningbo into, or was currently doing it into Joliet, and then trucking them from Joliet down to Decatur. With that, we were using 20-foot containers because our compressors are extremely heavy, and so our loads required from the trucking standpoint, from a cost perspective, we really needed to be transporting those in 20-foot containers and couldn't take advantage of the 40-foot containers at that time. Well, and we were going into the LA port and then railing into Joliet and trucking it down. Well, what we were able to do in working with the CN and ADM and the Midwest Inland Port here in Decatur was to work with some change of our logistics. So we currently now are able to transport our goods in 40-foot containers, which allows us to have about 1.75 times more goods that we're transporting. So we have more goods we're getting to Decatur quicker. The reason we can't do a full load is because of that weight. We're only allowed to get in 60,000 pounds, and the compressors, again, are extremely heavy. So we are able to transport more goods here. We go through the CN with at the port of Prince Rupert, and then we transfer our goods to the CN and rail them now all the way into Decatur and only have to truck them for 3 miles. The significant cost savings, the delivery from door to door for us is fairly close to being the same. We target about 30 to 40 days in transit from door to door, and that has been matched. We've done 2 test shipments, and just in the last few weeks have turned everything over now. We've had successful runs and are extremely excited about it. This allowing us to move from 20 foots to 40 foots, and the cost savings in working with the CN and ADM together has proposed us to have a 40 to 45% savings that we're going to actually see in true cost savings to our bottom line. That does not even begin to touch on the savings and ease of more products to us faster, which means delivery of goods back out to our global marketplace. We bring goods in here. Some of them we have to do assembly and then get them back out. So the quicker we get them in, the quicker we get them out. Customers and the demands that they have. By doing these 40-foot containers, we can get more product here faster. The ease of doing business with the CN and ADM, you might think that, wow, to transfer and translate what you're doing now and to go through all the bid process and transfer of goods, that's going to take several months over months to do that. We did that. We had a rapid conversion with them in 90 days. So we were able to, from the minute we had our first conversation with them and shared our existing costs and worked with them to develop a new transit plan, we were able to not only make the change, but do 2 test runs in 90 days. So we are rapidly being able to make that change and that cost translation for ourselves. So this partnership has had a true impact on us. And so when I look at this, both from a business growth, as I mentioned earlier, for our company, as well as the impact it can have on other companies like us, it's significant. Now we're moving about 500 pallets a year. So if you can imagine that kind of a savings with a company of our size, which isn't huge, the impact is very strong for the opportunities for companies like ours and for others coming to here to look at locating in Decatur. And I see this as a huge asset for us in our ability to market from an economic development corporation standpoint, and being able to really use this as a true asset for us to drive business growth here, whether it's bringing in new business or helping the businesses that exist in here and retention and growth strategies. So again, I just want to say thank you on behalf of our company to the coalition, to the CN, to ADM. Thank you for doing this. It has made a huge impact on our corporation.